Breaking news. President Tinubu writes National Assembly seeks 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. Hi guys, welcome back to Spice Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you're joining us for the first time, please kindly subscribe and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. President Bola Tinubu has written to the National Assembly seeking an amendment to the 2022 Supplementary Appropriation Act to allow the government to source 500 billion. The fund is to source for funds to provide necessary palliatives to cushion the effect of the recent removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria. The letter from the president reads, Tajuddin Abbas, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, on Wednesday. The letter read from the president on the floor of the House. And the letter, titled Request for the Amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act. The president had made a request seeking for the approval of the House of Representatives for the amendment of the 2022 Appropriation Act in accordance with the law. And the request has become very necessary in order to source for funds to provide necessary palliatives to cushion the effects of the recent removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria. And the sum of 500 billion only has been extracted from the 2022 Appropriation Act of the 819.536 for the provision of the palliatives to Nigerians to cushion the effects of the fuel subsidy removal, and had pleaded with the House of Rep to speedily consider his request. The president's request will soon be considered by the lawmakers on Thursday. Well, my country people, this is quite interesting. The fact that our very own president, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, removed the fuel subsidy. He declared it the first day he was inaugurated as the president of this country. He made Nigerians, aware to the fact that there is no money on ground. Although it was at some point we started hearing that, there was no money on ground. That's why Tinubu had to remove the fuel or announce the removal of the fuel subsidy. But then, my country people, Tinubu was not prepared when he made that statement. He wasn't prepared. His government wasn't prepared to cushion the effect that the removal of the fuel subsidy would bring on the masses in this country. Now, Tinubu is talking about palliatives. He is seeking for the sum of 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. Now, the fuel subsidy removal, I know that since May 29th, yes, May 29th, Tinubu was inaugurated. We have June, we have July. So what happened to the funds that were meant to be paid for June but wasn't paid? I thought Tinubu said he wanted to save up. He said he wants to, instead of using that money to put in fuel subsidy, he wants to use it to better this country. I'm sure by now the government would have some reserve. They would have some, funds at hand, because they've not made any fuel subsidy payments ever since Tinubu removed it. So I'm sure that there will still be money in the government. But recently we got to see that, Tinubu now is going ahead, to seek the National Assembly to grant him about 500 billion naira. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I know that many people are feeling very skeptical about the palliatives. I know that if Tinubu truly intends to, let the palliative get to the masses, I really want to say that the president should please set up a committee that would oversee the affairs of this palliative sharing of a thing o. Because we no wan hear say snake come swallow palliative money. Na there you go see people madness o. Nigerians dem go just para, people go stage protest, because we know as things take dey disappear for dis country. Tomorrow dem go talk say well, the palliative money snake don swallow am, like the way wey snake take swallow money for jamb office that year. Up till now dem never still trace the snake wey swallow money. Imagine, our government dey tell us say snake enter jamb office swallow plenty money. Okay, so now we no wan hear say anything happen to palliative money o. Dis one wey be say Tinubu now has gone to the National Assembly seeking for approval that they should release funds, at least 500 billion naira, to serve as palliatives to the masses. Please the government should set up a committee that will oversee the affairs of these palliatives, to make sure that these palliatives get to the hands of the masses. We know that even though the palliative may be too small, it may not be enough for Nigerians, but even though we will still manage, but at least make Tinubu really put eye for ground because any small mistake, all those corrupt politicians, they are just looking for one way to loot and to steal money in this government. So my country people, I hope this is not another form of a Ponzi scheme whereby Tinubu will be granted the release of 500 billion naira, and then at the end of the day Nigerians won't get to see the palliatives. Maybe they will just share it to some few people in some few states, and that is the end. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this issue? Because Nigerians are saying we are tired. We want this suffering to end. That money that Tinubu wants to use and do palliative, is it not better he puts the money into the Dangote refinery, so that at least the refinery will be completed, then we can be refining our own oil in our country? Is it not better that way than Tinubu to be sharing palliatives? Nigerians, we have suffered enough. Palliative will not solve anything. It might be a temporary, kind of a solution, but we want a permanent solution now. If Tinubu should start sharing out palliative of 5,000 naira, how will it go for us? It won't last. But then if Tinubu should take this money and impute it into something better, like the Dangote refinery, at least make sure that our refineries are working well, then Nigerians will be happy. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts concerning this in the comment section. Thank you. Bye for now.